Joining me right now to talk more about this is New York City Councilman Mark Levine. Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate it. First of all, reflect on this officer's service, because he was exceptional even at the young age of 25.
Yes, the son of a family of police officers, and what a hero, putting his life in danger in a tough neighborhood to serve others. I think his death really is a blow to the heart of all New Yorkers who mourn his passing.
At 30,000 from across the country. It's a lot of people coming to honor him.
And he deserves it. He deserves it, and I'm heartened by the level of support that people in New York City and around the country have shown in this moment. Let's hope it brings people together towards something positive as we mourn the loss of this hero.
Officer Moore was killed with a stolen .38 caliber revolver. He was sitting in an unmarked police car. He asked a guy, walking outside of the car what he had in his waistband. This man pulled that .38 allegedly and shot him 3 times. Who shot him in the face and killed him, right? So we know that this gun was stolen from a pawn shop in rural Georgia. Actually, 23 guns in all were stolen from this same store. 9 of them have shown up on the streets of New York City. Senator Chuck Schumer calls this the iron pipeline. That's not so unusual for guns to come from states like Georgia into the city. So tell me about that, and tell me about the problem that...
Well, Carol, time and time again, the guns that are killing people on the streets of New York City are coming from a handful of southern states like Georgia, which have lax gun laws. Clearly, we need a federal response to this. It's not enough for New York City alone to restrict gun sales here, because we live in a big country with poor states that it makes it very easy for someone to go down south and purchase guns. In the case of the gun that killed Officer Moore, yes, it was stolen, but it's legal to buy dozens of guns at once. Why would someone need to go into a store in Georgia and buy dozens of handguns? Is that for hunting? No, it's almost certainly for distribution. These are arms dealers. They're going to the south where access is easy, and they're coming north to places like New York. We need federal rules to protect New York and cities everywhere.
In this particular case, though, I believe the guns were stolen from this pawn shop. And the store owner was quoted as saying that, of course, he's sorry about what happened, but he said that the guns that are then sold on the streets of New York from Georgia go for a good price, high price.
Well, there's a big markup. Entrepreneurs realize that they can double or triple the price. And so they're going down and filling up vans and coming back north. That's the Iron Highway. It'd be very easy if we simply limited the purchase of handguns to, say, 1 a month. And that would put an end to this kind of arms dealing.
And going back to Officer Moore, 5 New York City police officers died in the line of duty this year alone, 40 across the country. And we know what's happening in cities like Baltimore and also in New York City. So this is just it's an uncomfortable time. It's a sad time, because the police and the community don't trust one another. So what should we be feeling right now as we honor this officer?
Well, we lost 2 brave officers in December. 2 officers were shot in January in the Bronx. They lived, thankfully. Of course, we've now lost Officer Moore. So this is 5 shootings in 5 months, far too many. But to put this in perspective, New York City is so much safer today than it was in decades past. In 1971, there were 12 officers shot and killed in 1 year. We are not in a situation that's nearly comparable to that. But we need to do much more to protect our officers while continuing to reduce crime, and while making sure that communities of color in New York City are not subjected to unfair, overly aggressive policing. And that's tough to do simultaneously, but through smart policy, we can do it. And when you look at things like cameras as part of standard equipment for police officers, that protects people on both sides of the shield. It protects officers, too, who might be accused wrongly and now have protection of the video. And we also think that it makes communities safer. We're retraining officers in New York City so that every single one of the 35 cops is learning more about conflict de-escalation. And that's good, again, for both sides. And this kind of policy, I think, can achieve these often contradictory goals of making the city safer for cops and the general public.
Councilman, thank you so much for being here this morning. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, Carol.
I'll be right back.